You found out your partner cheated. Now what? Couples go down three paths. Burn all belongings and break up. Forgiven but on a tight leash. Or they manage to turn their wounds to wisdom. I'm Ronald and I'm a relationship and family therapist. And we're here to talk about what couples can do to heal from an affair, turning affair wounds to relationship wisdom. This is for couples who want to try to make it work and realize that having someone tied onto a leash is exhausting for everyone. Because while one person is leashed, there needs to be someone holding. Healing from an affair is a job for two. It takes one to stray, but two are responsible for the creation and continuity of a relationship. To the unfaithful partner, the healing process is reliant on you. The affair must stop entirely. And if you want to make it work, you're going to have to put in the work. I use the metaphor of a bank loan. When you get a loan from the bank, to repay the loan, you pay back the principal, which matches the exact amount loaned, plus interest, which is payment on top of the principal. Extra payment to the bank as compensation for giving you the loan. By straying from the relationship, you've taken out a loan. And it's in the interest repayment where healing occurs. A key ingredient in healing is remorse. Remorse means to take responsibility and acknowledge the wrongdoing and the hurt caused. To show the betrayed partner, I care, you matter, I see the pain, and this relationship is important. There is no hope for healing without remorse. Furthermore, it's the actions after an apology which give the apology meaning. This forms part of the interest repayment. Remorse on its own is often just the principle. So how long are repayments for? Well, it depends on how large the loan was. Where couples get stuck is in the details. It becomes an interrogation. Did you have sex? When? Where? How? The wanderer wants to sweep the affair under the rug, while the hurt partner wants it all out in the open. It can be frustrating for the unfaithful partner as you think, well, how can we move on when you're stuck in the past? Flip the script. Be responsible for the affair, for bringing up the affair, for thinking about it, for protecting the relationship boundaries. The hurt partner's obsession with the affair comes from wanting to make sure that the pain is not forgotten. If you take responsibility for holding on to it, then your partner doesn't need to. To the hurt partner, questions are important to have, but some answers are better not to know. Because once you know the answers, you must live with the consequence of knowing. It's a question of how much knowledge will protect and heal versus how much it will re-traumatize. Symptoms experienced after an affair occurs resembles post-traumatic stress disorder. Intrusive thoughts and images, nightmares, sudden swings in emotion, being emotionally numb or explosive, hypervigilance, and rumination. So when you're looking through your partner's phone or questioning their whereabouts, or you can't get the affair out of your head, these are symptoms of trauma. You don't want these symptoms. They are out of your control, but it's part of a condition left behind after an affair. As with PTSD, images trigger affair symptoms. It can make things worse. So you want to avoid images. Questions and talk of the sex only serve to enhance the images in your mind. This only aggravates the wound. And most affairs aren't about sex anyway. Affairs shatters one's reality. That's what makes it a trauma. It threatens one's psychological existence. The narrative of the life and relationship that you knew to be true is no longer. You can no longer trust. Recovery from an affair is recovery from trauma. When we go through an affair, the world is unstable and unpredictable. We go to our threat response: fight, flight, freeze. And our internal messaging is, I am unsafe. When we are calm, the world is stable and predictable. And our internal messaging is, I am safe. We go through life in calm. Then something may happen that triggers us and reminds us of the past traumatic incident. The trigger reminds our mind and our body of the trauma. It reminds us of how this current situation is similar to what happened in the past. And we move from I am safe to I am not safe. So we attempt to bring ourselves back down to calm. This process happens within and between, in mind and body. Within meaning within oneself. Between meaning in relationship with other. What you can do within is differentiation. What is different with the situation now versus the past trauma, where trauma reminds us of what is similar. Emotion regulation is essential to bring the body back into the present, rather than stuck in the past, fight, flight, freeze. What the other can do to help is to strengthen the message I am safe through support and reassurance, and helping to co-regulate, providing a safe environment by witnessing and holding the space for the hurt partner to process their trauma. An affair is a relational trauma, and healing happens in relationship. When enough has healed, it can be time to turn affair wounds to relationship wisdom, to learn about what it was about the past relationship that led to the affair. What lessons can we learn, and how can we use these lessons to help strengthen our relationship? We want to move from interrogating questioning to investigative questioning. Affairs offer the opportunity for couples to reevaluate their relationship, using past problems to nurture and strengthen the current relationship. At the very core of an affair is secrecy. By outwardly negotiating your relational contract, you clarify your relationship boundaries and circumvent secrecy. Many couples just assume the same definition of cheating, not knowing that it varies greatly from person to person. And it's only in crisis that this gets discussed. Some say sex is cheating. Others say it's a kiss. Some say watching porn is cheating. Others say simply a text or a like is cheating. For some, all of this is fair game. Lay out your expectations. The difference between privacy and secrecy is that secrecy, there is the intention to withhold. And it's with secrecy comes broken trust. People believe that transparency gives birth to trust, but it also gives birth to surveillance. Trust is being able to sit in the uncertainty. Trust is built by negotiating between safety and risk. Trust comes from being in a safe place and learning to trust. But it also comes from being able to take a risk and to move beyond that risk or vulnerability to build trust. As a couple, you will navigate your risk tolerance, which you and your relationship is able to sustain, guided by your level of trust and your relational boundaries. Know that trust is built in drips and lost in buckets. Eventually, with emotional intimacy comes physical intimacy. This is a blueprint of healing from an affair. It's the start of relationship 2.0.